I honestly, I thought that we were making it really tough on ourselves. The way they pressure the ball, the way that they can, get into you physically. We have to try to make the game as simple as possible, and we weren't able to take advantage of it. We had guys open at certain points, within the offensive possession, and we just kind of made the pass two clicks late, or just not on time, or to the feet, or just off balance, and that was leading to rushed opportunities and a lot of shots around the perimeter. And outside of that, we got to take care of the ball. Obviously, they're going to force turnovers, and we can't give the ball away. They're gonna do enough, good enough job where they're gonna strip you. They're gonna get in passing lanes, but they can't be ones we just give them to them or dribble off our leg, and that's gonna really not give us any kind of advantage in the game.
We've seen you guys have that kind of defensive impact on teams where even if they get a shot, it feels kind of rushed. What is the key to executing to where it feels like you're in control offensively, no matter the pressure they're applying defensively?
I think it's just being crisp. Just doing things with a little more energy, not letting their pressure affect the way that we run our offense. They're trying to extend the pressure the way you're running your offense way out half court. Just trying to make the floor and spacing odd for your plays. So if we can just be more assertive on that end, just get the ball to spots where we need it to, so we can start running our actions with some pace and with some kind of discipline through it.
Like, is it as simple as just they started hitting shots like you did? I mean, was there something that changed from the first half to the second?
They did start hitting shots, but their shots were coming off of good extra plays, good passing, good movement, breaking the paint. Just really good team basketball. And I think that's where we were lacking tonight. I mean, we didn't have the same thrust. We didn't have the same good to great plays being made. We were getting shots, we were missing them, but like I said earlier, it's a difference in the shot quality throughout the whole game.
You never want to lose any game at this point in the season, but is it easier to maybe erase this one since it was only game one?
We didn't want to lose this one, obviously, but we came in here knowing it's going to be a long series. Nobody's going to come in here and sweep anybody. Nobody's going to come in here and expect that we're going to take two of them. We know how good they are over there and how prepared they are, so we'll be ready for game two.
Mike, the number of open shots that you guys did seem to generate, I mean, does that, I guess, give you hope going forward that some of those are going to fall and maybe that'll draw out the paint and open that up a little bit more as you go?
Yeah, we came back in here and we talked about a lot of the things we were doing were kind of self-inflicted a lot of the time. We give them a lot of credit, but we were getting some looks and guys just weren't knocking them down, and we've got great shooters, guys who've done it all season and all playoffs, so we have confidence in our guys. We have confidence that Julius and all of us playmakers will make the right reads and get guys good looks, and we'll find that hoop at some point.
It's nothing new in these playoffs for teams to play in the gaps against you guys, but when it is more difficult to win at the point of attack and break that first line, how much more difficult, I guess, does that make it more difficult? Do you have to shift mentality at home? That's the case.
Yeah, when you can't break that first line of defense, it's going to be really tough for you to win. It's going to be tough because you're playing side to side. You're not getting any kind of penetration to the paint, which they help a lot when you go in the paint. I think if we can get in the paint, they help. We can make the easy read. We can now start a blender, a cycle that can happen where you can kick it and drive and make the next play, make the next read, force them to have to defend for longer in possession, but defending off of closeouts instead of just one-on-one ISOs and crowd in the paint.
Mike, I know it's one thing to say don't get frustrated with the officiating, but did you guys do that today, or was it a little hard sometimes?
It was a little frustrating at times. I got out of character a couple times. And we've talked about that at length throughout all the playoffs, just keeping our head, keeping our mentality focused on the game. We got to be better. We expected it. We know what's to come. It's going to be those kind of games where you feel like you didn't do something and they did the same thing, and it just wasn't called the same, but it happens, and we'll be better.
But every round, obviously, things are just going to get tougher in the playoffs. But was there a little sense of okay, this is different. We have to execute at a higher level in this type of situation?
Well, yeah, I think we knew coming in it was going to be different. It was going to be I talked earlier. It's going to be more mental than it is anything. We've been through a lot of dog fights throughout this playoffs, but now it's about matchups and different lineups and looking at the score and say we just gave up a 6-0 run. Can we calm it down? Can we not rush a good quick three? Can we get something good offensively? Can we settle it down? we have to really, really be locked in on that, especially against a team like OKC who they thrive on, when you take those quick bad shots and they go out in transition and get going and get their crowd going.
Is that an easier team to adjust to once you've seen it? Obviously, you saw it in the regular season, but seeing it again, I guess.
Yeah, it's been a while since we played them, so obviously once you get game one out the way, you're going to come back and be a little bit more familiar with what they want to do and what they're going to try to attack going forward. So we'll try to figure out what we need to do to adjust and be ready for game two.
Mike, did they do anything different to take Julius away in the second half? He was so good, so active, and it was really hard, it seemed, for him to get shots in the second half.
Yeah, we talked about it. It's not going to be so much of an ISO game, playing this team, because they do a good job of being physical on the ball and packing the paint. And I think they just, we settled a little bit too much on trying to get him in the ball at the elbow or the free throw line where, he's kind of seeing 2 and 3 bodies. First half, he was getting a lot of stuff kind of off the move, setting the screen and popping and kind of catching it with the defender closing out. He can shoot, drive, pass. I think that's where we have to continue to keep him involved and not wear him out by doing it, but doing as much as we can.
Are you okay with this series if it's largely reliant on the percentage you guys can shoot from 3?
I am. We were one of the best three-point shooting teams throughout the entirety of the season, the last couple of years. So I'm not, overly concerned about us, missing wide open shots. I think as long as we get quality ones, we get the ones that we, on time, on target. I feel like we've got some of the best shooters out there. So I have confidence in us going forward.
What are more creative ways in which you can break the point of attack defense when it's not just as easy as you can, or at least getting a step on something?
Yeah. Well, I think one is it depends on the lineups out there. If they have Hardenstein or even Chet, getting them in pick and roll, they don't necessarily switch with those guys. They end up in a drop coverage. So you saw there were some times where I can get in there, we can get finishes, or we can make the extra pass to Rudy. And now Rudy's got to make the right read. Rudy's got to finish. Rudy's got to find the guys in the corner. Those could be options just to get a different look instead of wearing Ant or wearing Julius.